thank you guys so much for sitting down with me. So far, we've been able to get to know each other in the introduction. You guys let me in by talking about your community and what that looks like in walking through life with community. We got to talk about mental illness and the stigma around that and how we can kill that, but how we can also walk through life knowing that we're not alone. And if we struggle with that, that it's okay to struggle. This last one's like near and dear to my heart, and it's the topic of identity. Because for me, that's such a big thing, not only in my life, but I try to push it into my little sisters' lives and let them know who they are and how to find their identity. Because for me, I think it was something that I struggled with and failed at. I don't want to say failed at, but I put my identity all in sports and who I was as an athlete, and that people loved me because I was an athlete and because of this or that. And when I was a freshman in college, I had a career-ending knee injury that left me paralyzed from the knee down, and my career was over. That everything that I had placed my identity into was gone in the blink of an eye. And so it left me searching and seeking, and where do I place my identity? What do I do next? And I think that's just a struggle in our generation of where do we place our identity in something, and in something that won't leave us? Where do we place our identity in something that's the same today, tomorrow, and forever? And how do we do that, and how do we find that? And so I just want to kind of go around and have a conversation of like, where do you place your identity, and what does that look like, and your confidence in that?
For me, like I said earlier, I have that center table, which has just a few guys at it, 6, 8, and with that, I give those guys a lot of power because I feel like they know me the best, because I feel like they could influence my life the most. So a lot of the times I give them my identity and what they say to me, and sometimes that goes really south because we're friends and they give me crap and they'll say a comment as a joke or just mistakenly, and it will define me, and I'll go home later that night or I'll go to bed and I'll be like, maybe I am like that, even though it's not true. Maybe it was just a joke, but I give them that power to give me that identity because I'm so close with them.
I think my identity is mostly placed in my family, and like their approval is huge, and I love seeing like parts of me in them, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. Self-identity and identity is just something I feel like I've struggled with in my life. Being a dancer and just being constantly judged, like every moment. Like, you go to class and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to better myself, but then secretly, like, someone's always watching you,
Yeah.
which is hard, just because you're constantly, like, being judged on, am I too tall, am I too short, am I too this, am I not good enough in dance, and am I not fit enough, or whatever that is. So I've had an up and down relationship with my identity, but the one thing I've found my identity in is God. So, and my faith, because God is the one thing that will never change today, tomorrow, or for the rest of my entire existence. It's the one thing that I feel like I can trust and I know is everlasting. So even there was a period where I tried to find my identity through myself and like not society's standards, what are my own standards, and what do I think about it? And that was even more of a roller coaster because at least society is kind of on a curve. I'm a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? But definitely my faith is where I find my identity.
Yeah, I think, I mean, all of us have had our failures and our, when it comes to identity and our good moments, or whatever. But I think one of the things when it comes to identity is that confidence in who we are, and who we are as people, as individuals, and whether that be from the outside or inside. But I want to just kind of pose the question, what can you do, or what do you do in your life to build up confidence, self-love that says, like, I'm confident in who I am, who I am. And so what are some things that you guys do to build up that confidence in who you are and kind of just identity as a whole?
Something I do is I'll every single morning go up to the mirror and tell myself like, hey, you looking good, even if it's a lie that morning. Like it could totally, like I could be feeling like, oh, I don't look good. But if I tell myself over and over again and I stand at that mirror until I'm like, yeah, you do look good. Like and I say that to myself enough to where I make myself believe it. And then I go and I'm like, man, you are intelligent. Like, you are this, you are that. And find that, like, that just brings me more confidence. Because if I say it enough, it's going to be true in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to say, like, you look good. No, really, you look good. No, like, seriously, you look good. And then eventually I'm going to be like, yeah, you do look good. And then I'm going to be ready for my day. I'm feeling confident. So that's what I do to find confidence.
Nice. Wait, give us a little, like, 5 seconds of, like, you look good in the mirror. Like, what does it look like when
Well,
you
I mean, like...
Yeah, say you're doing it on the scene.
Yeah.
Just do it real quick, real quick.
It's like, you look good today. Like, have you seen yourself? Like, you look good. You're looking really good. Let's go. You look good.
I think we can all take some notes.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, that was one big thing I was gonna touch on was like self-talk. You gotta like just the positive and the negative, whatever you tell yourself, that's what you're gonna believe. So another big part of that is who you surround yourself with. Like your self-talk, if you hear a lot, like, oh, you're, like Megan was saying, like if she heard a lot, you're too tall, like this and that, like that's probably what she's gonna start thinking. And like she has the capability to say like, I'm not too tall, but like hearing like you're the perfect height, or these are just like really surface level examples, but like hearing this from positive people you surround yourself with like helps your self-talk, I guess.
Yeah, definitely who you surround yourself with. Even like being the person in a group that's like, you know what, you look amazing, or like complimenting other people, I feel like actually helps your own self-confidence.
Absolutely.
Like, cause you're like, oh, well, they're amazing. I'm hanging out with them. I'm pretty amazing too. Like, you're like, we're all pretty great. Yeah, but I think definitely the people you surround yourself with is major.
I think that's huge. I think we can all like take some notes on like how to be more encouraging to ourselves, but also others as well, because maybe they're looking for us to help them with their identity. And if we say something negative, it could really hurt them. I think words have so much power. For ourselves and for others, and so I think that's a huge thing. But I want to just make a challenge when it comes to identity, and this battle of finding our identity, to really search, to seek who we are, where we are, and understand where we find our identity. I know that going back to self-talk, me and my friend Megan wrote a 10-day devotional challenge, and she asked me to help write it towards women because she knew how passionate I was about letting my sisters know that they're loved and they're worthy and these different things. And one of the things that we did was we told them every single day to write a different, like, you are beautiful on the mirror, you are invaluable, you are loved, you are worthy, you are enough, things on the mirror so they can look at it and know who they are in that. And when it comes to identity, it's talked more in the female realm of, but males struggle as well with insecurities. And insecurities are such a big thing, and I think that all just falls down to who are we and our identity, and if we're confident in ourselves or if not. And there's nothing wrong with not being confident in yourself or struggling with identity, but I would challenge every single one of us to really find something that your identity is the same today, tomorrow, and forever. That won't leave you. Not the labels that somebody else gives you. Not the relationship that you're in that you find identity and worth in that could leave you. Not the grades or not the sport, whatever. Find something that you can place your identity in that's strong, that will never leave. That's the same today, tomorrow, and forever. And so that's a challenge that I leave us with everybody, to really find your identity in that. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. I love just getting to know you guys more, getting to talk to you about these different subjects. I learned a lot, and hopefully we'll be able to do this again.